Hey YouTube, and welcome to another video with myself, Box of X. If it's your first time, don't forget to hit that subscription button down the bottom and the bell if you want to get notified of any new videos coming up. There is a new podcast coming up this weekend, another episode of the Micropod, so hit the bell button, get notified when we go live and new videos go up. Before I go any further today as well, I want to give a big shout out to DomsUncutChannel. Make sure you go and check his channel out. He does some fantastic gameplay videos. Go and check him out, show him some support, and drop a sub to him too. We all appreciate the support that you guys, the ones that take the time out to watch our videos, we do appreciate the support that you give us. So today I want to talk about games consoles, the game console market. We've had the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 for 4 years now. Well, 5 years. 5 years. Come off the back of the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360, I've said many times, had a really unprecedented lifespan, shelf life as it were. 10 years out of that console, which was not heard of before the Xbox 360. And right up to the end of life, they were constantly pushing, the developers were constantly pushing more juice out of that system. When you look at Perfect Dark Zero and Call of Duty 2, which were sort of launch titles for that console, although at the time they looked amazing, when you compare them to what we ended that generation on, GTA 5, it was in a different league, and it was amazing how they were able to just keep pushing the juice out of these systems. But obviously, with the advent of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, the hardware changed and they have become more PC-like in their design and their hardware. And I think for that reason, it's sort of, you're not going to see that level of continual push of the hardware that we've been used to in the past, certainly with the Xbox 360. So we are at a point now where we had, 2013, we had the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 launch within a week or two of each other. And in that time, you're talking 3 years, you had the PlayStation 4 Pro drop, and in 4 years we had the Xbox One X. We've recently had the Xbox One X drop. So we've had stepping stones in this life cycle already. I mean, you could say that almost, yes, the PlayStation 4 wasn't as big a jump as the Xbox One X, but I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't see the Xbox One X as a new console. The hardware is so much more powerful. There was such a big jump between the Xbox One and the Xbox One X, and the same could be said for the PS4 and the Xbox One X as well. There's a big difference in the hardware and what those machines are capable of. The Xbox One is in a completely different league to the PlayStation 4 at the moment. The PlayStation 4 Pro on the hardware level. I mean, the graphical quality on that system, more often than not, it's hitting 4K. They are still having issues with getting that 60, but that is something coming for the future, and Phil Spencer has hit on that over at E3. Sony have already spoken about the next PlayStation. They're already working on the PlayStation 5, and they're expecting that sort of 2020-ish. And the same with the Xbox. Phil Spencer squashed any rumours. I mean, there's been so many rumours on the internet recently that that the Xbox One and the Xbox One X were probably going to be Microsoft's last consoles. I didn't believe that. There's too much money to be made in the console market. We still want the hardware. The streaming of games doesn't work unless you've got high-end PCs, in which case why not just buy a high-end PC and not have a console? With console gamers, we want the consoles. So I wasn't surprised that Microsoft are already working on a new console, codenamed Scarlet. I wasn't surprised at that at all. And I wasn't really surprised at when they were expecting that to launch either. I mean, again, they're expecting around about 2020. I think the PS5, they said in the next 3 years. So the same area, 2020, both console manufacturers are expecting to drop their new consoles. And that sort of gives another, we're talking less than 2 years shelf life for the Xbox One X. And a little bit longer for the PlayStation 4 Pro if the PlayStation 5 launches around about the same time. So gaming as a whole, console gaming, is moving forwards and it's changing. This generation has changed the way that we look at consoles. It's changed the way that we look at hardware, and I think that gaming console-wise is moving in line with, say, mobile phones. in the respect that there's new models out every year. The iPhone drops a new model every year. Samsung's dropping a new model every year. And it seems to be moving in that line. And people might argue the toss and say, well, I'm not buying a console every 2 years or every 3 years. But why would you not think about buying a console every 2 or 3 years if that's your main hobby and you're into gaming, yet you would consider buying a new phone every 2 years? People argue that the phone is a tool. It's not a tool. Your phone is there to make phone calls, so you could quite happily buy a £30-40 mobile phone that does the same job. But we don't do that because we're so addicted to social media and all that sort of thing. So it's not a tool. It's a social thing. We're using it as a social thing, very much like gaming. So to me, buying a mobile phone at sort of £500-600-700 is no different to spending that sort of money on a games console. I'd much rather spend that sort of money on a new games console every 2 or 3 years than I would a mobile phone. I use my phone a lot, yes, but if I didn't have it, it wouldn't bother me. I could still get a cheap phone and I could still make phone calls, and most of us don't even use our phones for phone calls anymore. It's all text messages, Facebook, Twitter. So I don't understand why people are so sort of dead against the possibility of going in line with this and having new consoles every 2-3 years. At the end of the day, it wouldn't work unless you did what Microsoft's model is, and that is to make everything back compatible. You would need to make these machines back compatible. If Sony turn around and make the PlayStation 5 not back compatible with the PlayStation 4, that's going to be a massive mistake. We already know that Microsoft is going to go that way. Look at what they've done with the Xbox One, with the original Xbox games and the Xbox 360 games coming on it all the time. We don't need remasters because they're doing this amazing back compatibility program, which is seeing games upscaled onto 4K on the Xbox One X. So we know that's where they're going, and for that model to work, that would need to be in place. If Sony decided to do that model, it would fall flat on its face unless they did the back compatibility, and not this backdoor charging system that they do now. Proper back compatibility. And with the way that it's become so popular, I'd be extremely amazed if Sony don't follow on with that. I'm still amazed that they're staying firm on the Fortnite saga, to be honest with you. They're still staying firm on that. They will bend eventually because there's such an uproar. And back compatibility is something, whether you haters and people that are out there that are saying we don't want it, you do really. The only reason you're saying is you don't want it is because Sony aren't giving it to you, and you don't want to be looking as if you're attacking a brand, and that's the only reason. For those that said that back compatibility wouldn't be popular on Xbox One, it is massively popular, and why shouldn't it be? We like going back and playing the old games as well as the new games. At the end of the day, we're gamers. We know there's some amazing classics that have been bought and played in the past. Red Dead Redemption being a prime example of a game that's definitely worth going back to revisit. We've got the Crash Bandicoot trilogy coming back soon, albeit that they're remasters, but people are interested in these old games. And the Spyro collection, all of those games are going to sell extremely well because people like playing the older games as well. Gamers do. You know, hardcore gamers, the real fundamental gamer that's grown up with gaming for years. I mean, I've been gaming for over 35 years. I love going back to these old games. I love going back to my old Commodore 64 and booting up my old Ghostbusters game. So, you know, I don't need all graphics and all this, but it's nice to have the new generation as well, to have these new experiences that we're getting. And it's nice to have all of that, but it's also nice to go back and experience some of the older stuff. And some of the newer guys, some of the younger guys that are just starting out in gaming don't even know about these games. You know, get them out there, get these games out there so that people can experience them for the first time, as we did 10 years ago, and so on and so on. You know, the fact that Crash is coming back is fantastic for younger gamers who never got the opportunity to play those fantastic games, and with Spyro as well. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. Really, it's just that the gaming is moving on. I think we're getting to this phase where we're just going to be looking at shorter life cycles and more consoles coming out. And I think as gamers we should embrace it and bring it on. We go with console gaming because it's not complex like PC gaming. There's so much to do. That's why we stick with consoles. I like the ease of it. You know, the plug and play. And that's why I stick with consoles and don't go to PC. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, so please like, subscribe, leave your comments, tell me what you think in the comment section about a possible 2 or 3 year life cycle of consoles in the future. Take care, and I'll see you on Saturday for the Micropod. Bye bye.